Mumbo Jumbo is an S&S Loco which was brought to Flamingo Land in 2009. The ride has two inversions, and when it opened, it was the steepest drop on any roller coaster in the world. Hello, and welcome to Coaster Waffle, where today we will be reviewing Mumbo Jumbo at Flamingo Land.
The roller coaster, located next to Comali, features a nice stone gate which invites people to join the queue. In length, the queue is short, but in actuality it takes ages to queue for this ride due to the poor operations.
We were fortunate enough to go on a quiet day, so we were able to get a few re-rides.
When seated on the roller coaster, the uncomfortable restraints are placed over you. This really does staple you, especially if the ride op is stingy. The ride begins with a relatively short lift hill that takes you to the maximum height of the roller coaster.
You crest over the lift hill, go on the short pre-drop turnaround, and get yanked into the 112-degree drop.
This drop provides good hang time and is quite pleasurable and fun.
Unfortunately, some of the momentum that you gain from the pre-drop is ruined by the fact that they slap a trim brake on you. This does take away somewhat from the ride experience. After the drop, you go into an extremely uncomfortable pullout where, despite being only around 20 miles per hour, you feel the positive G's crushing your skull.
As per usual, Tom is being overdramatic. This element is quite tame in comparison to other roller coasters with a greater than vertical drop, like Soar at Thorpe Park. Then you enter the strangely banked turnaround section, which takes you 360 degrees around the lift.
This element is rather uncomfortable, however I find it weirdly enjoyable.
It also provides pacing in an interesting way. The next element is a really long dive loop which has quite a significant entry. This provides a lot of hang time, which really establishes this roller coaster as a hang time filled ride.
This may be one of the strangest elements I've ever experienced on a roller coaster. However, it is very endearing and is quite enjoyable to any rider.
These elements that provide hang time really create the unique sense around Mumbo Jumbo and make it one of the best attractions at Flamingo Land.
You then drop down and pull out into the mid-course brake run. This element does not do much to me, does not offer much in positive or negative G-forces, but allows block sectioning for them to run more than two trains. However, they still choose not to.
This just demonstrates Flamingo Land's incredibly large operational issues and explains why, in this peak season, they struggled with throughput.
You then go into a forceless banked turn into the next element, an inline twist sloped downwards.
This inline twist provides quite a lot of hang time due to the slow nature of this ride.
This element also competes with the dive loop for the most weird roller coaster element that I've ever experienced. However, all of these elements create a strange charm of Mumbo Jumbo, which we can both appreciate.
Now you enter another strangely banked turn. Funnily enough, this also gives a minor amount of hang time as you go through the element.
Unlike Mark, I find this element forceless and pointless, and it only takes you into the brake run.
No, it doesn't now.
Oh yes, how could I forget that incredible airtime hill into the brake run? I feel so ashamed of myself now.
On the brake run, you contemplate the strange ride experience you have and decide whether it was absolutely abhorrent or one of the best rides you have ever done in your life. For me, it is definitely the latter, as Mumbo Jumbo really has a unique charm, and the hang time gives it one of the best ride experiences in Flamingo Land. Therefore, I have chosen to give it a final rating of 8.2, slightly on the more beneficial side.
I agree with Mark that it is one of the better ride experiences in Flamingo Land. However, this is not a very hard achievement. The rattle is unbearable, especially with the horrid over-the-shoulder harnesses which you are strapped into on the ride. They are completely pointless, and for me they ruin the ride experience of what had potential. Also, I believe the wacky nature of the ride does give it a slight amount of charm. However, no amount of charm can compensate for the amount of absolute rattle you experience.
It's not even that
This
bad.
is... Shut up. This is why I'm giving it a final review score of 6.9. This gives it a coaster waffle score of 7.6 because Mark is delusional.
I mean, it's alright, like...
There is zero rattle on Mumbo Jumbo. Tom is merely being a little overdramatic child, as always.
Whilst I can be a tad overdramatic from time to time, I am dead serious on Mumbo Jumbo being an uncomfortable rattling mess. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video and believe that Mumbo Jumbo is a good ride, make sure to smash a like on the video. Also make sure to hit the subscribe button to listen to me being overdramatic about more of the roller coasters that you love in the future.
To those of you who didn't click off due to Tom's ear-rapey, shameless plug, we hope you enjoyed the video and thank you for watching.
Goodbye.